107.5 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
What's at the list for you, Jack, that you want to hear coming away from the scrimmage?
I think the main thing is obviously, number one, you want to stay healthy. Like, you want to come out of this second scrimmage here, your final one, according to the practice schedule that was put out by South Carolina. You want to come out of this thing really healthy. No, like, you're gonna have nicks and bruises. Like, you had a little bit of that going on last weekend, and luckily nothing too bad at all from the looks of it. But you want to remain that way going forward. And then also, you kind of want to start, if not yet, you kind of want to start figuring out, okay, who is, in Shane Beamer's mind and the coach's mind, who is ahead in these competitions? Who is going to be the one that in the end wins the starting spots at, say, the free safety position or the linebacker positions or the offensive line? Even the special teams is another big one. So we may not necessarily get those direct answers from Shane Beamer in press conferences or whatever, and heck, even with the sources that Gamecock Central talks to and whatnot that are on the inside, may not even get a clear-cut idea of, we'll probably hear like who did good, who did bad, that sort of thing.
Sure.
Mainly probably who did good. But we'll probably won't get clear answers on who the starting guys are probably going to be until we do get that depth chart for week one here in about, probably on that Monday leading into game week. So those are probably the main things I would say I'm looking for. I kind of also want to see if the defense can create a takeaway or two, have a little bit more success in that way. Now, on the flip side, that would mean the offense would probably have to, have a turnover or an interception or a fumble.
Sure.
So you don't necessarily really want that, I guess. But at the very least, I think in a better sense, I'd rather see the defense just hold their own out there consistently. Maybe the offense gets on the board a few times, but I want to see some good from the defense in this game or in the scrimmage, just because they're going to be so heavily counted on this year.
We'll get to these last couple coaches that Carolina is going to see in the Power 4 slate this year, and in mid-November, you run into Texas A&M, a team that a year ago looked pretty scary coming in here to Williams-Brice Stadium. Carolina wins that game pretty handily, fans storm the field and all that kind of stuff, and I feel like I don't feel like that's where the slide kind of started for them, as they reverted back to their 8-4 norm, it seems like, as that season closed out. I still think Mike Elko's a really good coach. I think he's very solid. I don't know if he's ever going to be that guy that's going to lead Texas A&M to a national championship or something along those lines, but I think he's a good, solid coach that, until they get impatient, I guess, can be around College Station for a very long time.
I think he's got all the resources he needs out in College Station in Texas to have the utmost success, right? I think that is more than what you need to get the job done. And look, last year, 8-5, had a lot of success. You had a 7-game winning streak. And don't forget, this A&M team was coming into Columbia as a top 10 team in the country last year before things kind of fell apart for them a little bit in that month of November, where they lost to the Gamecocks, and then they lost that quadruple overtime game to Auburn, and then obviously they lost in the bowl game to USC, Southern Cal. So last year was not really the best year for Elko and company. You add a lot of new talent. You have 8 transfers coming in. I think this is another thing where you have Marcel Reed under center. What kind of jump is he going to take in year 2? We talk about the same with DJ Lagway at Florida and Lenore Sellers at South Carolina. But Marcel Reed, I feel like, doesn't get talked about enough. And how can Mike Elko and that offense kind of develop with him under center?